I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners.
Yo, what's up, broskies? Had to take some water. Also, I know you weren't expecting an update to this deck so soon, but I'm been playing it so much, been testing it so much. I made a couple changes, couple funny cards. New format, so try new things, try rogue things, and you'll see a lot of success in the beginning. Then it'll help you kind of figure out the format going forward. But before I get in this, like the video, comment down below any feedback you might have, or just comment what you would do differently with the deck, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be giving giveaways every 100 until we get to 1,000. So next up is 600, and we'll be announcing what we're giving away on the community tab, so stay up on that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into it and talk to them. First off, Starfire. Go through the magical muskets first. Starfire is incredible, old card, but obviously you can add spell traps from your hand, the magical musket cards. And if one's activated in this column, you can special summon out another magical musket card from your deck in defense position. A lot of times, if I need to crack a board, if you have these cards on the field, you can go into Baguska pretty easily with this card. But that's not all the time. That's just really niche situations. I probably shouldn't even said it, but whatever. Caspar, when a card is activated, when a spell trap is activated in his column, you just get to search a magical musket card. It doesn't have to be spell trap monster, except during the damage step. But also he has the same clause. You can use magical musket spell traps from your hand. Kid Brave is like a good one, and then like a bad one at the same time. Like I hate like it's got that like graceful charity-ish effect, but not as good. So you have to discard a magical musket card, which is like the biggest downside. I feel like I wish it just said like discarded card, draw 2. But spell traps activated in his column, like I said, you discard a magical musket card, draw 2 cards. So he's fine. It clashes pretty hard with prosperity. That's why I don't have it in here anymore. I don't think I had it in the last list, but I was testing it, and sometimes I would just open up Kid Brave Prosperity, and it just like, it just hurt. Next up, Doc. I feel like Doc is slept on. Doc's pretty crazy. Sometimes I want to run him at 3, but he recurs all your resources, because if a spell trap's activated in his column, you literally just pick that shit up out of the graveyard. You just get out of the graveyard, add it to your hand, and you just keep going. So Doc's pretty nuts. One magical musketeer wild. He's kind of like a mini Avarice. If a spell trap activated in his column, you have to target 3 magical musket cards in your graveyard, shuffle all 3 into the deck. Then you can draw 1 card. He's level 4. That comes up. Magical Musketeer Calamity. They're all light cards too, by the way. Magical Musketeer Calamity. If a spell trap's activated in her column, you can special summon. You can target 1 magical monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. So it gets your cards back like Caspar, like Starfire, and you can really start spamming the board. Next up for my hand trap lineup, I'll run triple Ghost Ogre. And this is probably where you're going to turn the video off. I know this is where you're going to turn the video off, but this is just like something I've been testing. And listen. I have a side deck, so if it doesn't work out, but all else fails, I mean, I just like, lost game 1, whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna explain it. Next up, Triple Honest. I just thought this card would be hilarious to play. Like, we're going through our binder, and I was like, damn, I wish I could play this in something. So I just put in Magical Musket, because everything else is in your hand. Why not add another hand trap? And a lot of times, like, sometimes you'll completely crack a board, and you'll end up with like Magical Musketeer Max in your hand and like 2 spell traps. A lot of times you can just run over the Max, because Max only has 1,000 attack, so it kind of sucks. So Honest kind of sends it over the top, because literally everything here is light. So whatever. I mean, you can cut it for whatever you want. This is just like this is something kind of silly, and like I'm trying out. And I wouldn't even call it silly. It actually has application. This isn't the most out of the box thing I've ever done. But whatever, you can change out for literally anything. More board breakers if you want. Next up for the magical musket, spell traps, cross domination. It's you just target one, negate its effects, and its attack goes down to 0. Desperado. If you control a magical musket card, target one face-up card on the field, destroy it. So it's removal. Magical Musketeer, Last Stand. Basically Solemn Judgment for hand. If they activate a spell trap, just negate the activation. This is pretty good. I cut this down to 1. The other one's in the side. Dancing Needle, it's basically DD Croak times 3. You should banish 3 cards from the graveyard. Link it to the Vrains. I'm so glad they printed this card. This card like really this card, sorry about that. This card really makes this deck kind of like nuts, and it really like ups like the level of playability, because you basically you special summon a monster from your hand. Its effects are negated, which is completely fine. And then you immediately link into your max. So let's say you go like Caspar, max, max effect. You know, they can negate it, they can destroy it, they can do whatever they want. If they destroy it, you just banish this card, bring back the card. I think it just has to be the same type. Pretty sure it has to be the same type. And you bring it back to your hand, and then you go, okay, normal summon Caspar, go into max, because max is like activate. You can only activate the effect once per turn. So if for some reason they negate the activation, destroy your card, it's completely fine. Link it to the Vrains is like, it's just nuts. That's all I gotta say. Pick this deck up. Next up, Triple Dark Ruler and more. A lot of times we aren't just winning like outright with one big OTK push. So it's fine. Just blink the board and like just crack it. That's all I can say. It didn't get hit, so play it. Next board breaker, Triple Tactics Talents. You already know what it does. You either draw 2, take control, or look at your opponent's hand and choose one card, rip it. Double Super Poly. Super Poly wins me a lot of games, not gonna lie. Super Poly's pretty nuts. Last card, Raigeki. It was either this or Feather Duster. I just put Raigeki in. I thought it would be kind of cool. Because a lot of times I want them to have a couple cards like in the back row, which kind of sounds crazy, but like max, it just depends on what type of advantage you're trying to get, but you can cut this for anything. I think I was running 3 Triple Tactics Talents last time, and I think I cut one of them out for Raigeki just because in testing and like in playing, I was drawing multiple of them. But next up for the extra deck, I'm gonna try to run through this a little bit. Magical Musketeer Max. If you didn't see the last video, basically when this card's link summon, you either add spell and trap cards to your hand up to the number of monsters your opponent controls, or you can special summon monsters from your deck, magical monsters from your deck, up to the number of back row they have. That's why it's hard to decide, like, do I want to completely wipe out their backboard or like back row or what? But Max, I am like convinced is the best Link one ever printed. He just is. It's just crazy. Or was Link Cross? I don't know. I don't know what Link Cross was. IP Masquerena, you already know. Nightmare Phoenix, great utility card. Nightmare Unicorn, removal. Borload, because I'm not even gonna explain it. I'm not even gonna explain it. You don't ever go into this anyways. I don't have another rank 4 beside me or anything like that. In other words, I use, like, I have Avermax. Avermax is super easy to go to in this deck. And it's still a problem. It's been reprinted. You could, instead, I'm trying to think of something you could do other than Borload. You could do anything like IP, like another Link 2, anything you want, honestly. Baguska, this thing cracks boards for real. Like, this thing is serious. Just 2 level 4s. Baguskas turn everything defense. Best Dweller is the best dweller. Starving Venom, Preda Power Fusion Dragon is insane. All it takes is 1 Dark Fusion monster. one fusion monster. So it's literally half the format, or in the upper tier at least. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, quick effect, you contribute one monster on either field with a Predator counter, and if you do, negate the activation. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you target one dark monster in your graveyard to summon it. So that's really never coming up unless I have Super Poly twice in a game, but it's fine. This card, because it just requires 3 dark monsters, so it's another Super Poly target. Stardom Venom, Fusion Dragon, because Super Poly target, and Drag Spelia, because it's a broken Super Poly target. Yeah, I was gonna put a Mud Dragon in, but I can't find mine. But that's pretty much it for this one. Remember to like the video if you like the video. Comment down below any changes you might make. Subscribe to the channel because we're almost to 1,000. And